Hello and welcome to the Videos Corner. I'm your host Martin, also known as Falcon1, and in episode 0 I want to talk about the podcast and about a bit about myself. This podcast will be more likely interviews with other editors, most likely from the AMV community. Later on I will also expand, hopefully, to other editors, but at the first I will be more likely to talk with others from the AMV community. What is AMV? AMV stands for Anime Music Videos, shortly explained in people cutting animes to music and making sync up, making a story or show some love to the source, to the song, and the idea what they have behind it. For myself, my name is Martin and I go by the nickname Falcon1. At the moment I am 35 years old and from Germany. I started editing in like 2004. My first contact to AMVs in particular were in 2003 at the German convention called Konichi, where I saw the AMV contest and was like flashed. It was some awesome new experience for myself to see what people do and can do. Later, I had a school project and was like, okay, can I do something like a music video? And I said, yeah. And in this way, I started with Windows Movie Maker and used the source Cowboy Bebop, an anime I really like. And it was the movie I used with the song Cowboy from Kid Rock. For myself, it was like, yeah, it fits together, this cowboy and Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, it's about space cowboys who were bounty hunters. So on, I started to get into it. I also sent it into the AMV contest the year after that, and it was a good feeling to do that. And so I got also into the editing and started to be a part of the community, talking with other people around the world, starting with the AMVmusicvideos.org, where it's a great database, and watched all the kind of videos. I had no real help at the beginning. It was like from the German community, getting into the stuff, understanding what's going on, how stuff works, or what is important, like the cuttings and the synchronizing, and to get a feeling about what's going on. For me, that was one of the most important thing, to get this basic understanding of what is editing. Most likely I started with the idea just like, oh yeah, I like the song and like the anime, and put it all together. There are some videos out there where I say, okay, they were really good in my eyes, and some where I say, yeah, okay, they were just playing around and nothing special. A question which I ask every editor is like, where do you start? Did you get help? Which I answered already. And if you have a video in mind which is more likely your baby you are most proud of. I need to say it was most likely the video Crazy, which was really a crazy video with Ghost in the Shell and some industrial music. It was a crazy feeling because I had an idea and the video was crazy, and that's where I got the name. The beginning was like, okay, I have a over 6 minute long song, and was like, yeah, I can't do that for that long because it was repetitive in the way it sounds. So the first thing I did was like cutting down the song, and then started from the beginning, like, okay, I need source. I need what could fit to this music, to the beats, and sync it up. So it was like very basic editing. Yeah, that was special video for myself. And later on, I think, which was really good, expected video quality, was Children of Sorrow. It was a more dramatic, emotional video, and for myself, I tried to get the feeling of the song. So I translated the lyrics for myself because I'm from Germany, so I'm feeling more comfortable with German lyrics. So I translated it to get an understanding of what's really going on, and also to get a feeling what I can do or should do with the video. And then I started to write down and find scenes which fits the lyrics in a way so I get the emotion to the viewer. And I think that was one of the particular videos I really like, but it's got some sadness in it. One other question is like, what programs do the people use? I started with Windows Movie Maker, then went on to Adobe Premiere, tried then also some kind of different video editing software because I was like curious what I could do with other stuff, or how it feels, or how I like it. I walked from Premiere to Vegas. Then at the university I also worked with Final Cut, which felt like Adobe Premiere, and then I used for some cuts Edius. It just was some minor program, not well known, I think. And from there, I went back to Vegas and edited there for quite some time. And now I'm using DaVinci Resolve, which is in my mind a very, very good free program where you can do a lot of things. And I can really recommend it for newer editors because it's free and the potential is very, very high. You have like multiple programs in one. Like you have an editing software like Premiere, Sony Vegas, but you also have an effect program like After Effects, but node-based. So it's a bit different. Like Nuke is also very known in the industry. And also you have a very good audio tool and the best color correction tool in the industry. So I can really recommend this program. One other question is like I see often on Reddit or on other sites where people recommend newer editors to start with After Effects, which is in my opinion not the best idea. After Effects is like a post-production software, which is for people who have already cut scenes together and make the post-production with the effects and all the color correction and stuff. So it was not really invented to do cutting and editing in it. And that's why I can't really recommend it, because I think the basic understanding of editing comes from a normal cutting software. The best way would be if you start in like Premiere, Vegas or DaVinci Resolve and then move on. Take later, when you understand how stuff works, take the chance and use something like After Effects or in DaVinci Resolve Fusion to give more into your videos, just like cutting and syncing up the story. Then one question will be, what was a difficult part to master for the people? Because I think to understand what was hard for some people, then new people can also understand, okay, there is always something that may be hard to master or to understand or to get along, and to see, okay, well, if I have trouble with something, it doesn't mean I'm bad. It's just like, yeah, we all have sometimes problems. And for me, it was always the problem with effects. I was never a user of effects and it was hard for me to understand all. And I started then to go more in depth with effects. So first I look at an effect, what happened. Okay, I need a color correction. I need some movements so I can use a transform to make a wiggling in the video, then putting on some other stuff and using a mask to put something behind or in front of something that was not there in the original scene, and combine it all together and create in that way some interesting effects. So most people will see an effect and think it maybe is one, but most likely it's the use of multiple effects. And I think that's an interesting way, and many people have trouble with that. So try to break down what is going on in the scene and what's happening. The other way is like I ask the people, what style do you prefer or to see or to edit it yourself? For me, it's like I'm a fan of more the story-driven videos, which have a plot and build something up. It's which hooks me up. But for myself, I also like some action videos, but I'm a bad editor in action videos. One other question is like if the people have idols or look up to editors in the past or nowadays. And I must say, I think everyone has that. It's like at the beginning you have someone who impressed you and made you maybe to start with the editing. For myself, I liked some videos from Neotex, which did some crazy, interesting things, also with effects, which was very, very important for me to see that, and got also the idea for me to make some trailer videos. And so I was always looking up to him. Sadly, he stopped editing. Also, I asked them if they influenced them a lot. For me, the spark was created by the German editor JCD, who won the Konichi contest in 2003. I was impressed and was like, yeah, I want to do that. And so he was also a person I looked up, but more likely in how he did it, and using also more likely the speed of the sound and the scenes to bring something to life. I am a person who can't do that, but was pretty impressed at this time. One other question is like for me is to the people, what is the most important part of AMV's editing? There are different kind of things, but I think most people will be like, yeah, I like it because I can express myself, I can maybe entertain people. And for me it was like I wanted to create stuff, but I am a horrible drawer, so I can't bring a picture to paper. So I wanted to create something in a different way. And so editing was one of the things I really, really enjoyed. And so I stick to it, and I'm being a part of the community for a long time, and with this podcast I want to give the community something back because they helped me and showed me so much. And yeah, it is a great time for me, and I think nowadays the most important part for me is the community, is the people around sharing this hobby we all like, hopefully, and I still love. One question I always ask the other people is like, if someone comes to you and says, okay, I want to start editing, what would you tell them? I would tell the people, just take some editing software. Take a song you really like and an anime you like and try to just get starting. Try to cut something, mix it together and play around. That's the most important thing. Have fun with editing, have fun by testing and doing some different stuff. Also, mostly recommend not to watch tutorials for AMV in particular. Most likely say, if you want to learn something about a software, just go and search for, let's say, tutorials After Effects, tutorials Sony Vegas, tutorial DaVinci Resolve, and see what the program can really do, what tools you have, and learn what is possible, and then create your own stuff with it. Don't try to make something other people do and say, okay, copy this settings and then you go. I think that's not helping because you most often don't understand what's going on. What does this tool do? Okay, if I put the number up, what's going on? What does it do? And most likely other people who are more general tutorials do that. Yeah, that's more like the basic of the talking. There's always something stuff comes along about talking about themselves, their experience, and maybe some style they prefer or they like, and go more in depth into this. So most likely we'll hear some episodes which will be different length. So don't expect to have always this 50 minutes, an hour or something like that. I think it will be around, let's say, 40 to an hour. And I hope you out there can learn something from that or get an idea. Or also you have maybe a different view on stuff and think about it. Well, I can try that. Maybe it worked for me how this person said he works or she works. And for you, you have also this experience and maybe it helps. And I hope this is something people come back and maybe listen to it in the future. I want to also say the first episode will be with AMV editors, but they also do maybe some manga music videos or live action music videos. So don't be afraid, it's all about AMVs. There will be also other stuff. And if you want to say something, you can send an email to vidoscornerpodcast@gmail.com. So feel free to write a mail or put a comment under this YouTube video if you're listening to it on YouTube. It is also available on Spotify. I hope all listeners out there will be entertained, have some informations now, and will coming back for the next episode. So, see ya.